another fabulous episode of Manhood Academy. An episode singular of Manhood Academy interviews. Where we interview a past debater who got destroyed, but she came through life with her lemons. She made lemonade, and so she learned a few things. So we're going to find out about her life since then. Welcome back, and what can we refer to you as? Little Chicky. How's your life been? Tell us your story since the debate. What was it like having your soul crushed? What did you get from the debate?
No, contrary to that, I've actually become very much more empowered.
Oh, empowered? How so? Please tell us. How so? Are you more feminist than ever? Tell us.
Yeah, I know.
We want to know.
Whoa. No, never, ever been a feminist, darling. Never.
Okay, so what do you mean by you're more empowered? Please enlighten us. So we want to know what you mean.
I live on my own now. I take care of myself, and I actually kind of love it.
So you are more feminist than ever. You just don't realize it.
I don't really want somebody taking care of me.
No, you definitely need as a woman, you definitely need somebody taking care of you. But the problem is, your relationship, the guy in your relationship obviously wasn't in charge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the state where you're just alone by yourself. That's an unnatural condition. Everybody needs relationships. I teach about relationships. Even I need relationships.
I've got plenty of relationships, but I mean, like friends, family. I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah, but that's not a romantic relationship.
I don't really want a romantic relationship. I was in a relationship for 11 years.
You had a bad relationship. That doesn't mean you don't want a romantic relationship. It means you don't want a bad romantic relationship.
Correct.
How did your bad romantic relationship go?
Pretty fucking bad.
Well, tell me about it. I don't know anything about it. How'd you guys meet?
We worked together years ago.
Okay.
It was 11 years ago.
Met at work, fishing off the company pier.
Yes, exactly. As you can say, bartending together, of course.
Okay, so you're slinging the gin together, and then you decided, hey, let's go over to my place.
No, it was quite the opposite.
Oh, you come over to his place or her place.
We were friends for years, before we dated, actually.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
Is it not?
No, that's a horrible sign. Usually, when a guy knows how to lead a relationship and is in charge of a relationship, it's on right off the bat. It's not on like 15 years later. Either that guy was a super duper nice guy who didn't know how to be accountable to his thoughts and feelings and couldn't tell you he was into you. He was working up to it, or there was no spark to begin with. It was just like a long one night stand. So it sounds like he was a typical nice guy, a white knight who had to work up the courage to tell you how he felt. What's that?
I wouldn't be so quick to white knight him.
He wasn't a white knight, so that means you were in charge of the relationship, or he was in charge of the relationship.
It was a mutual thing.
There's no such thing as a mutual thing. That sounds exactly like janitor's. Turn off your video, Dick.
Oh, sorry. I wanted her to see me. This could be the ex-girlfriend of my friends.
Yeah. He also had a mutual breakup. There's no such thing in existence. There's no such thing. You don't call each other at the same time and go, "Hey, let's break up." Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking. Let's break up. No such thing ever happens.
I'll tell you what happened.
Who broke up with who? I want to know who dumped who. Oh, now you dumped him. Okay, now why did you dump him?
Because he messed with my car.
He messed with your car? What's that mean?
Well, he is in the automotive industry.
Uh-huh.
I'm not, obviously.
Okay.
I upset him one night, and on a very, very hot night in the South last summer, he decided to disable my...
Do you have a TV on? Do you have a fan on or something in the background?
Professor, you hold on.
Okay, I'll be right here.
Thank you.
She's got to go turn off Days of Our Lives. She'll be right back.
Yeah. It sounds like an attempted murder type thing. On the E! True Hollywood Story.
Okay, on the E! True Hollywood Stories. Little Chicky, she's back. TMZ, she's back with us now.
Right.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Okay, so you left off saying he did something to your car.
Yes.
Yes, what? We don't know. We're not mind readers.
He disabled my AC compressor.
What? Why would he do that?
I'm upset him.
So he turned off your air conditioning? Is that what you're saying in layman's terms?
Married for 5 years. He popped the hood to my car and disabled my AC compressor.
Yeah, but what does married for 5 years have to do with that? You just started the sentence with, we were married for 5 years, he popped the hood, and then he cut off the air conditioning. How does that all work together?
I think that in marriage, you wouldn't do things like that.
Right. So obviously there was a big problem before. You don't...
I've done something wrong, which in his mind was the fact that I was at a networking function with work.
Uh-huh.
And that was it.
And he didn't like that you were networking? Is that the gripe?
Yeah. I guess that was the gripe, and then he said the next time I pissed him off like that, it was going to be my brakes. So.
What? So this is a very passive-aggressive guy, in other words.
I don't want to figure him out anymore. I want a real guy.
Well, right, but that's my point. The reason why you don't want to figure him out, he's passive-aggressive. You have to read his mind, or he's going to do something passive-aggressive like whine at you, or turn off your AC, or stamp his feet, or leave you a note that says he's pouting, something to that effect, rather than properly governing the relationship.
Not trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to talk over you.
How fucking dare you talk over me?
How dare I? Anyway.
I wish I had a virtual paddle. I'd sit you over my knee and spank you and make you pay attention.
See, I'd like that way too much.
I know you would. Okay, let's continue on.
Yourself over
so, I'm going to end up spanking myself if this keeps going on this line. Let's clean it up. Let's get it back to G rating.
Okay.
I don't want to spank myself. Let's go. So this guy was not in charge of the relationship, obviously. He was very passive in telling you if there was a problem, he wouldn't face it directly. He wouldn't handle you directly. He wouldn't even punish you directly. He would just do indirect things like turning off your AC to let you know he was mad.
Correct.
So it's like being in a relation. You were basically in a lesbian relationship. Technically, he had a penis, but it might as well have been a strap-on for all practical purposes.
That would have been a lot
Yeah.
hotter.
Well, so you were the one that had the rape debate with us, and you got destroyed. What was that experience like for you debating me for the first time?
Did you have PTSD?
Yeah, did you have PTSD?
No,
Did you go into early menopause as a result of that debate?
No, the vagina's still working.
I'm sorry, what was sore?
My vagina.
Oh, it's still sore.
Oh, it is, of course.
Oh, I apologize. From the behalf of the Academy, we apologize for inflicting that kind of damage on you. It was unintentional. But, as you know, any opponent that goes against us in a debate usually loses and loses badly.
No, I understand.
But did you learn anything from the debate? Did you get anything out of it? Did you consider after that night of soreness in your vagina, did you think, there's something about this Academy or something about what they're teaching here that I didn't consider?
To not argue with the professor.
Well, that's just a small point.
Well, that's the point. That's what was driven home.
You just learned how to be a good girl that night.
Well, then I appreciate it, sir.
I feel like we're flirting during this interview. It's very unprofessional.
My apologies.
She sounds like she's from, the South.
Definitely has that Southern
Yes,
belle, that
twang.
genteel Southern belle twang.
I'm just going to put it out there and say I think it's hot.
Yeah, I definitely think it's hot. What do they drink over in Southern Belle territory? Is it Cosmopolitans, iced teas, mint juleps? What do they have? Southern Comfort? I can't. Ashawa? Ashatwa? What?
Menage a trois.
Menage a trois. Wow.
Yes, sir.
They make that into a wine as well. Hopefully our younger audience members will not get that sexual reference and not be turned off.
I did not get it.
Good.
It's a fine table wine.
Little Chickie, what brought you back to the Academy?
I was curious.
Curious about what?
You left an impression on me, sir.
What kind of impression?
A good one, apparently. I'm back, right?
Yeah, apparently. We want to know what your thoughts about this. What kind of impression?
I kind of dig the attitude. It's hot.
You were digging the attitude. What specifically? Could you pinpoint it? Could you clarify it a little bit? Because nobody's going to understand I dig the attitude. That doesn't mean anything to anybody.
You can compare it to previous attitudes you've experienced as well.
You've had a lot of attitudes in your life, but what specifically about my attitude are you digging or thinking that's hot?
You're assertive.
Assertive. Assertive. Could you go a little further? Assertive?
You're assertive and you know what you want.
I know what I want. These almost sound like catchphrases from Hollywood movies. The guy is tough and in charge.
You're confident.
You're confident. You're confident, but not cocky. Sorry, I spoke over you. Go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to sound like a cliche or anything, but I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great too. I just want to get a little more specificity so I can get a look inside your mind, like what it's like to look at me or experience an attitude from me. What little specific things?
It's witty banter. It's fun.
Witty banter. You like witty banter? I'm not necessarily saying anything funny.
I don't think it's funny.
He's not impressed. He doesn't think it's funny.
Yeah, not funny to me.
I wasn't asking you.
She just told you to shut up,
fuck?
youngster.
What the fuck? You mean ban you?
Fortunately, he can't ban our guests.
That shit.
Fortunately, he can't ban our guests.
I'm a janitor. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, you settle down, sir. You settle down.
All right.
You settle yourself.
That's respectful. My
Be
apologies.
respectful of our guests here. So, witty banter. I'm not necessarily saying anything funny.
It's sexy.
I'm sorry, what?
It's sexy.
What is it? That's what we're trying to get at. What is the it you're referring to?
I can't even explain it. It's like you got this charisma. I'm so cliche. I am just lame.
Yeah, we want to hear these specifics because guys hear this. They always hear it in movies and popular advice columns and media.
To you, didn't I?
Right, and cultural magazines.
Whatever you're doing you're doing it right.
Right, but they're interested in what is the magic mojo, what makes a guy charismatic, and is it teachable, is it transferable, can I become charismatic? What can somebody do?
I would be just as wonderful as you were.
Well, that's what we teach here. Fortunately, we teach charisma here.
I cannot put my finger on it, but it's that attraction.
Let me see if I can clarify it for you, and you just agree or disagree, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, what we teach guys here to do, number one, is to be accountable to their thoughts and feelings, which means that they need to say what they're thinking explicitly and what they're feeling explicitly for the purpose of forming a relationship. So, for example, if I see you and I'm attracted to you, I would say, I think your hair is beautiful. I like the way your eyes look at me. I like the way you sound. I want to smell your hair. I want to grab your waist. I want to get to know you. I want to, and then I would ask you questions. So basically, what was on my mind, instead of how's the weather, what's your work, where are you from, what do you do, those types of questions that aren't really relevant to what I'm really thinking, that's not being accountable. So we teach you how to be accountable to your thoughts, number one. The second part is that we teach you how to enforce your thoughts, which is, I could also say the same thing by saying, I like your hair, I like your smile, your eyes are nice.
You're right in that. You're right, absolutely. You know, a lot of it has to do with, you can't be just bland like that. That there's no meaning behind
we
that.
We call that not being accountable to your feelings. For example, let's say everybody thought you were beautiful. Well, everybody would have the feeling in there, and it would be expressed somehow, whether their eyes opened wide when they saw you, their hands got excited, their body language straightened up, whatever it was that would indicate that is enforcing the thought that they think you're attractive. But most guys are taught just the opposite. They're taught to self-monitor, to restrict that thought, to not give you that thought. So even if they were paying you a compliment, say, I really like your hair. It's very attractive.
The first step is actually saying something. That's
okay. Now is the time when you shut your goddamn mouth. Now listen carefully. There's a way they could be accountable to the thought. For example, they could pay you the compliment. They could say, I like your hair. It's very attractive. Well, they're being accountable to the thought. But because they're not being accountable to the feeling behind the thought, there is no enforcement of the thought. The thought is worthless.
Correct.
Just like when I tell you to shut your fucking mouth, if my body language is not aligned with that, if my facial features are not aligned with that, if my voice tone is not aligned with that, and the content of my speech is not aligned with that, there is no enforcement of that thought. You might as well just ignore it. It doesn't mean anything to you because it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not enforcing it with my thought. I'm not being accountable to that thought. So when I put those two together and I say, your hair, so yummy. And now you can see the smile on my face. You can see the twinkle in my eye. You can see my body language is enforcing that thought. So when I'm doing that all together, now the thought is out there, so you can, that's the thought. That's the thing that's affecting me. And then there's the enforcement of the thought. You could hear in my voice, in my tone.
You're right. You can't just project that without feeling it. Because if you're not feeling that, and you're just trying to project that, then there's no sincerity in it.
So once you have that accountability to your thought and your feeling, that will inevitably result in a relationship, whether it's a friendship with another male or a romantic relationship, in this case between you and me.
Will it though?
It always does, 100% of the time. Think of cases where people aren't accountable to their thoughts or feelings. They're either not telling you what they're thinking, or there's no enforcement of the thought because they say it in a bland monotone, serial killer face, no movement. You ever seen guys or girls, their eyes don't move. Below their face, they smile, or they grimace, but they don't move their eyes. It's like their face is cut in half. That's what we call that serial killer look. A lot of times guys will smile like this.
I'm sorry, Patrick Bateman.
Like they'll smile, and you can tell there's something wrong with a smile. It's that the eyes never move. They never crinkle like in a genuine smile.
No, I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. You're spot on.
So that's what we talk about when we're saying people aren't accountable to their feeling. They're not enforcing that thought. So it's very bizarre when you express a thought, but it doesn't have the feeling. That's naturally, every thought has some type of feeling attached to it. And when you remove that feeling, you try to suppress that feeling, it won't form the relationship.
Oh, absolutely. But, then there's the next steps. Like, so what are you going to do beyond that?
Well, then, of course, you have to govern her behavior. So, for example, if I was getting into a relationship with you, I would have to arrange things so that we could spend time together, go on dates, as you call it. I would have to restrict bad behavior. Let's say you worked at a factory and it was like 99% guys and maybe 2 women working there, and you were one of the women. Well, I wouldn't want you dressing in really tight skirts and boots to show off your ass and legs.
I would be wearing steel-toed shoes, Dickies pants, and a hard
Yeah,
hat.
but let's say you did do that. Let's say, just for argument's sake, you did wear...
I would not have my job any longer.
Dummy, shut your mouth and pay attention. We're doing make-believe right now. Look at you are wearing a skirt, you're wearing boots, because that's how you grew up. You grew up as a skank on a pole, and that's everywhere you go, that for you is work attire. So you go around wearing skirts and boots.
Okay.
So you're at the job, maybe you just work in an office, maybe you're not lifting lumber, but you just work in the office at this factory, and you're in skirts and boots. And so all these guys are always hitting on you because they're always being constantly turned on, seeing your ass and your legs. Well, if I was forming a relationship, I would be restricting that. I would be telling you, no, you're not going to be doing that.
Then why would you even be interested in me if I looked like a whore?
Well, why wouldn't I be interested? Why wouldn't guys be, that's the whole problem. That's why guys are talking to you, because you look like a whore. That's my point. If I'm interested and I want to protect my relationship, which means I have to protect you, I'm in charge of you and I'm in charge of your welfare, I'm going to restrict what you do. Just like for as an analogy, it would be like you're a kid and you would be running in the street. If I'm a responsible parent and I care about the relationship we have, I would tell you, no, you're not allowed to run in the street. Just like if I'm a responsible guy and I'm in a romantic relationship with you, I would tell you, you're not allowed to wear boots and a skirt to work.
But is it not a partnership?
No, it's not. That's exactly why relationships don't work, when people treat them like equal partnerships. That's like saying, here, I'm going to drive this side of the steering wheel, and you'll drive this side of the steering wheel. And hopefully we'll get to Vegas. The problem is, when 2 people are trying to control the steering wheel, the car is going to end up in a ditch somewhere.
Somebody usually holds the map or helps translate the GPS.
Well, right, that means you're doing complementary functions. My function as a man is to lead you. It's to tell you what to do. Your job as the woman is to support that decision and to follow what I'm telling you what to do. That means the relationship is working. When 2 people are trying to govern the relationship, they were like, you want to tell me what to do and I tell you what to do? How do we decide what to do? Do we flip a coin?
Not necessarily. You look for whoever has benefits.
How do we decide that?
Well, just from knowing each other.
No, what if you think you're right and I think I'm right and we're at a stalemate, Mexican standoff, then what?
Well, then it's not a good relationship.
No, it's a bad relationship from the start. If you have 2 captains.
It is a bad relationship from the start.
It's the difference between having a president and having a committee of board members. The committee of board members always notoriously slow and never gets anything done because they're always bickering over who's in charge. Whereas a president, there's one guy in charge, and it's very easy to govern a country, govern a business, govern a relationship when one person is in charge. There is cooperation, not conflict. So if we're in a relationship, it would be, I'm in charge, you're following.
Yes, you can't argue with that logic.
You're goddamn right. That's why you think I have this thing called charisma. It's just me functioning properly in a relationship. Any guy that functions properly in a relationship will get a girl's panties wet. She'll think he's charismatic, so to speak.
Just because you're charismatic does not necessarily panties getting wet.
No, I'm saying that doing the things that properly govern a relationship make your panties wet. It makes you think I'm what they call charismatic, or what you refer to as charismatic. It's just being accountable to your thoughts and your feelings and properly governing the relationship based on that.
Charismatic is projecting and getting people to empathize with those types of beliefs.
What's that?
Being charismatic has more, I think, to do with being able to project your beliefs and having people empathize with that.
Yeah, but I could tell you the exact same information without my feelings involved, and then I wouldn't be enforcing those thoughts. So because I'm accountable to those thoughts, you're saying, oh, that's charismatic.
No.
No?
That's okay.
What? No?
No, you're very interesting.
Well, this is like trying to explain the ebook to a puppy. Now you can see why the guy's job is to be in charge.
That's why my boss refers to me as a bird dog.
Bird dog. Oh, okay. Well, as long as you can fetch. Yeah, that's why a guy is supposed to be in charge. Like, if we were talking and discussing how to govern the relationship properly, I wouldn't necessarily rely solely on your input. I would also go to my male friends who are also governors of their relationships and figure out how they're doing it and get advice from them. I wouldn't just come to you. That would be like a parent going to a child to figure out how to parent that child correctly. I would go to other parents, aka other men.
Why is that though?
Just in case I came across a parenting problem I hadn't encountered before.
Well, but why does it have to be another man?
Because, as we just proved, women don't know shit about relationships, and men are the governors. That's why we develop academies. That's why we develop educational institutions. That's why we develop societies for women. We're here to care for women. This is what society is for. Society is designed to care for women. The job that I go to is designed to care for women. The houses we build designed to care for women. The plumbing in it designed to care for women and children. But again,
the military
under your authority, the military designed to protect women and children.
Right.
So everything in society that men govern, is for the benefit of those in the relationship that are under that authority.
You can't argue with that logic.
That should be your catchphrase. That'll go on your tombstone.
It should go.
Can't argue with that logic.
Any other impressions you have about the Academy? Anything you gleaned in your time here? Do you just pop on periodically or arbitrarily? Or when you stop by? Just whenever you're drunk enough, or what?
I've been able to be a lot more assertive.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I've been able to be a lot more assertive after reading the ebook.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh. She's gonna get
I
surgery.
apologize. The ebook is for men.
I promised you, darling, I'd read it, and that was about a year and a half ago.
Right, but it's supposed to be for men to teach them how to govern a relationship with a woman. It wouldn't, like, for example, if you read it and your husband didn't read it, you would be the guy. You would need the penis. You would be directing. That would be in a natural relationship.
Well, then my marriage failed. There you go.
Yeah, because obviously you're in charge of it.
Well, not any longer, because I got rid of it.
Right, but the point was you were in charge of it. If he's a very passive guy like that, he's worried about offending you. That means you're in charge.
Mad at me, but, whatever.
It's like a child pouting. Mommy, give me a candy. And then the parent gives in. That means the kid's in charge of the relationship.
Oh, that never happened. I got rid of that quickly.
Got rid of what quickly?
Getting hit?
No. Oh, my God. I forgot I'm talking to a poodle.
No, that's
You better give a great blowjob, because if I had to talk to you about politics or anything beyond blowjobs, I might shoot myself in the face.
Fair enough.
I have a lot to teach you.
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
It's going to include a lot of spankings, that's for sure.
I deserve them.
Your ass will be beat red.
Oh, it'll have my handprint.
I think she poses a good question in that. What would you say to girls who come across the ebook, and how should they receive it?
Are you asking her or me?
I'm asking you.
Of course. You're bright. Okay. How should they receive it? Well, number one, they shouldn't go anywhere near it. It's written for men. It's written for governors. It's written for people in charge of relationships. They are supposed to... What's that?
You told me to read it.
Yeah, I did. I did make that mistake. Okay. Now that I know better, now in hindsight, 2020. No, even when I wrote this book, I knew it was written for men, because men are supposed to be the ones in charge of the relationship. That means they have to know how to govern the relationship. This book is not for women at all. Men can definitely teach women things about the ebook, or teach women things about like being accountable to your feelings. I teach this to girls that I dated all the time, like how to be accountable to your thoughts. For example, when I'm getting blown, I like a girl to say, let me rephrase this. This is going to get so graphic. For example, when I'm having a car wash, a group car wash with the girl I'm dating, I would like her to say, "Oh, I like the way these windows are so dirty. I need to shine them up really well. I want to make them glisten." So initially, when she's washing my car with me, she would most likely say, "The car's dirty, we should wash it." And that to me is not an accountable statement. That to me does not reflect her real thoughts about the car. So I would correct her and say, "No, that's bullshit. I don't want to hear your political statements. I don't want to hear your diplomatic statements. I don't want to hear what you think you want me to hear. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear your real feelings. I want to hear your real thoughts." So, and I would also need to direct her thoughts, because I want her to say, "I want you to tell me about this windshield. I want you to tell me this windshield is dirty and it needs to be washed, and you're going to do a good job. You're going to thoroughly wash that windshield."
And she should be doing it.
She will practice. She will say, she'll maybe giggle because she's not used to being open with her. I'm sorry, she's not used to being accountable to her thoughts. So she'll say, "The car's, It's dirty. And she'll giggle, and I say, no, I don't want your fucking giggling. Your giggling tells me that you don't want to be accountable. You don't want to say that thought came out of me. So you giggle to make it into a joke like it's not serious, like it wasn't you. I say, knock off that fucking giggling. If you're going to giggle, you get the fuck away from my car. I only want a serious person around my car. So then it adjusts her attitude. She'll try it again. I think your window's dirty. And then a little laugh just at the end escapes. It's close, but it doesn't meet the standard yet. So I say, no, fuck that bullshit. I want you to tell me exactly what I told you to tell me without the fucking giggle, because you need to be accountable to that thought. And then I'll get those eyes. She'll look at me seriously. I'll say, that car is dirty, and I need to wash that windshield on that car. And then I'll let her feel the emergency brake and see it's in a raised position, which indicates excitement. The car's happy. And I'll say, look, you did a good job. You were accountable to your thoughts, and therefore the car is functioning properly. It's happy that it's being washed.
They do perform better when they're washed, I have to admit.
Yeah, so when I'm accountable to tell her what I want and what I expect in the relationship, that actually turns her on. And as a result, I've trained women to meet my needs in the relationship, just like I meet her needs. Just like I'm meeting your needs, like this is the type of guy you want to be in a relationship with, not your ex-husband. Your ex-husband, when you think of him, you cringe. You're like, how did I end up with that guy? But when you're talking to me, you're thinking, how can I be with that guy? How can I be with a guy like that? That's because I'm meeting your needs for this relationship. I'm governing you properly.
You're right. No,
and
as far as meeting needs, like attractiveness goes a long way.
Yeah, and that the response is the wet seat. The wet seat you're sitting on. So that's how we know. Conversely, I know when you're meeting my needs because my car is perfectly washed. And I'm satisfied with the job, the service on my car.
Well, unless the girl's attracted to you in the first place, like
shut up, Blue. Does that feelings? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it made perfect sense. But overall, the ebook should be like kryptonite to women because they'll read it and they'll take it completely the wrong way. What's her name?
Little Chickie.
Little Chickie. Yeah. You came out of this whole debate and ebook, and now you're more assertive.
Did you hear about the debate with the professor?
I was actually the moderator.
He was the moderator for the debate.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's cute.
Yes.
So cute. That's adorable that you were there.
Wait, so
look, the reason why she can't take the ebook and use it to govern is because she's like a kid who is used to training wheels, and she will try to put training wheels on everything and everyone she encounters. That's not the point of the ebook. The point of the ebook is to teach the guy how to be accountable. He needs training wheels. They will have certain procedures in there to train you to exercise his authority properly, like to train you to be accountable to your thoughts and feelings, to govern the relationship properly. But once you are accountable to your thoughts and feelings and you can do that, you should remove the training wheels. Whereas a woman will keep the training wheels on. That's what we refer to as like helicopter moms or overbearing moms, or guys growing up under single mothers and they're like mama's boys. The common complaint from women, he's like a mama's boy. He always depended on me to make every decision. He wasn't uncomfortable deciding things. He always said, what do you want to do, honey? These are guys who don't know how to be accountable. They have no training in how to be accountable. That's why we created this academy, to teach guys how to be accountable in a relationship.
That's a great thing, actually, because more men should be accountable.
I agree. Then we'll have less divorces.
I will never disagree with you on that. Ever, ever, ever.
Less divorces. Less heartache. Less problems.
Do you know what he actually said to me?
What's that?
So the paperwork was finalized about 2.5 weeks ago. He called me that evening and goes, I'll give you a baby.
If we have a baby together, that'll make the relationship work because you'll need me now.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't want a child with you.
Wow.
I would never share my genes.
Sounds like divorce is in the air. I recently had a friend tell me that his paperwork was finalized and he's getting divorced too because he didn't know how to properly govern the relationship either. A lot of nice guy syndrome, white knight syndrome going around. A lot of guys not knowing how to be accountable in their relationship.
Best man in the world, but you know what? I couldn't be married to him. I don't want children with him, and that was his reason. He's like, I'll give you children. I don't want that.
It's like when a kid gives you a tie and says, "Here, wear this ugly tie because if you wear this tie, it'll solidify our love."
I didn't pardon my language. I did not spread my pussy just so he could knock me up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's dumb.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Congratulations. Congratulations on not making a mistake. Another mistake. Well, any other impressions about the Academy? Any other thoughts about the Academy?
No, I was just ringing in to say hi. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since our debate. Yeah, it's a good time to reminisce. Well, I'm
You
glad.
changed your hair color. Is that a result of the divorce?
Pardon?
You changed your hair color. Is that from the divorce? Like, are you trying to be more sexy, or what's going on?
Feisty redhead.
Feisty
Yeah.
redhead.
I think you had like brown hair before.
Is it
That's
red?
fine.
It's basically red. I've been by the pool because I work for myself.
It's a good thing she didn't go crazy and do the Dutch boy haircut where women are totally rebelling against the marriage concept.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
We'll have another E2 Hollywood story.
When a chick butches up, she's like, "I am woman, hear me roar. No man will control me," and she cuts it off. Nothing is worse. Nothing is worse.
Yeah, don't turn into Miley Cyrus.
When there's
that's
nothing.
the best way.
Oh.
If you're trying to make me feel better, then you did a great job.
Yeah, there has to be something to tug on to.
That was an advanced joke.
Why would you insult me? I've never come on here and insulted you guys.
Yeah, how dare you, Dick Van Dyke? You were acting like a serious dick today.
Well, that's why I'm the dick.
That's why he's Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
He's known for his dickish ways.
That's why you don't run the site. The professor does.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke, you got served, son.
I can run you better than your husband did.
Oh, I don't know who got served, but it looks like an extra helping of serving went around. If this was a rap battle, you would definitely have been served.
You as in the audience?
No, Dick Van Dyke. You definitely got
No,
served.
I don't think so. I think I won that.
Okay.
That was a good serving, though.
That was a very good survey. I was impressed.
I think you need to listen to the professor. And I think you need to listen
Oh.
I think you need to turn around, get on my lap.
Dick Van Dyke, I think she called your bluff. I felt that one in my balls when she kicked you there. I felt it in my balls. I still have residual pain from you getting served.
I told the professor he had charisma, not you.
Oh, you are getting dominated. I don't even know what to say. I'm almost red faced on your behalf.
I appreciate that.
No, the professor knows I'm a very big fan.
Yeah, we expect to see you more often around the academy. I mean, I'm going to have a desk in an office, and I'm going to need you to check on if I drop any paper clips under there. I'm going to need you to get them immediately.
Absolutely, sir. Reporting in for duty. Anytime you want me to.
Thank you.
I think we just have a legitimate booty call.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? This is a booty call, is what it is.
I don't like to look at it that way. I like to look at it as we have an executive assistant that we gained from a debate. As always, our debates always come to some good fruition. Like some of our debaters past debaters have been our biggest enemies, have become students and have learned how to govern their own relationships as a result of the academy's work. Some women here have had their minds changed about their approach to relationships, etc. So, we've seen a lot of good things come from these debates.
No, absolutely.
You should go drinking with Apollo the cat,
No.
so you guys won't be alone.
No,
I was just thinking about that. They either like get naked or wanna.
I don't think that's a productive idea for her to get naked with Apollo the cat. I don't think that would serve the academy's interest.
In a relationship.
Oh, that's true.
I've become a master debater.
She's definitely working on her bad jokes. Any final thoughts from you, feelings on this interview? What did you take away from this interview?
God bless Manhood Academy.
Hold on, not you. I'm talking to Feelings. His name is actually Feelings. Feelings, any thoughts on your...
I actually like that she came back and shared a very bad experience with us, because it just confirms that the things that we teach here at the academy is true, and I'm glad that she's speaking up, and I like to see you here at the academy. I'm glad that Professor has made a new friend, and maybe, if you're lucky, you guys could probably date or something.
or something.
Do I get my turn to speak?
Stranger things have happened. She's far away from California, but they've invented planes. Kaiwala, anything you've come away from, anything new you've gleaned from this experience, this interview?
I don't know if anything new, but it definitely reconfirmed a lot of the things you're teaching. It was a live demonstration of how being accountable to your thoughts and feelings is so attractive, and she was...
Even in a debate, she was an enemy of the academy. She was against us.
Yeah, but since you're so accountable, she's drawn to the accountability of how accountable you are to your thoughts and feelings, and of course she's, characterizing it as charisma and stuff. And when you're explaining and demonstrating, she's like, yes, I like that. So it's very good. It's good to know what we're learning. It's a live demonstration and it's working.
Live demonstration.
One thing though, you said if chicks find the ebook, stay away. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I said that a little too flippantly. I actually don't mind if they read it. In all honesty, I would rather a chick read it than not read it, because at least she might share it with another guy who would definitely benefit from it. So
it's better than all the other crap they read.
yeah, any crap out there, Cosmo, advice columns, Who's That Bitch on TV, The Millionaire Matchmaker. It's 1,000 times better than any of that bullshit advice. So.
Okay. I heard, like, if she finds the book, she should find the nearest man and go
hand it to him. I heard that too.
That should be on the first page. Hand this over.
If this book
is a guy you find attractive and you're like, this is the guy to my heart.
If it's too special, you just give it to a special guy. It should be that special. We are all here.
It's the most touching gift a woman can give a man, the ebook.
Yes.
With her mouth and her hands and everything else.
You are Tawdry. Stingray, any closing thoughts you have on this interview? What you thought about this interview? Or
yeah, I feel like I missed a lot.
You definitely missed a lot.
Yeah, because all I saw was her like, oh, I agree with you, Professor. I agree with everything you say, and so I don't really know how she was fighting you before. I didn't see the transformation.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
We didn't battle.
Yeah, she was referring.
I thought you're an enemy.
No, she was referring to the past. She was a past debater. She's a little chicky. She debated the academy before. Past debater. Now she's a new debater. A master debater. I didn't want to say that. But she came here as with a olive branch in her hand and a condom in her other hand. Dick Van Dyke.
I will also say that I don't like it how she says she likes the ebook, but she's like she's like fuck my husband, he's a loser. I don't want to do anything with him. It's like, well, why don't you just give him the ebook and then maybe you can work things out.
Well, it doesn't work that way. Just because you read the ebook, it doesn't mean you've trained according to what's taught in the ebook. Those are two different stories. If she were just a man,
I'm not saying that they got it back together. I'm just saying, just be like, okay, I'm not gonna love you anymore, but this will help you out, so you're not
a parting divorce gift in what you're saying.
Loser for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she has resentment. Why would she want to give him a gift for the resentment?
Because he couldn't govern the relationship. It's just like a bad parent who left their kid in the gutter, and now the child is resentful. You're telling the child after it's grown up and has drug problems as a result of all the bad parenting to just go back and give the parent a final hug goodbye. It's very hard to take the high road. Maybe we'd like her to do that, but it's understandable that she's resentful of a guy who should have been in charge and should have made her happy, but wasn't able to do that and ended up making her miserable.
Okay.
Dick Van Dyke, any closing thoughts?
Yes. I do not like Little Chickie. I think she responded to me in a disrespectful manner. I think she needs
I'm sorry, we don't use the term disrespectful at the Academy. Could you clarify that for the audience?
My authority. Granted, I wasn't accountable to my thoughts or feelings, which resulted in that.
So would you say you're like her ex-husband in that you cause her misery?
I would say that. However, you're in our house, so I don't even care.
I was invited to the chat room. Thank you very much.
Yeah, who sent you the link?
I see Dick Van Dyke is attempting to reenact her marriage, the Little Chickie's marriage. And
I'm going to turn off your air conditioning. He's going to turn it on. He's going to turn it on.
He's threatening to turn off your air conditioning on your car. Little Chickie, I'd like to get the last word from you. I'd like to hear about what your final thoughts are on this interview and how your time was spent here and anything you got from it.
My final thoughts on this were actually I had a very enlightening conversation this evening, and I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I think we clarified a lot.
I think we clarified a lot, too. I'd love to clarify you further.
Well, call me butter, darling, and warm me up.
Oh, I want to clarify the fuck out of you.
All right.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Could you do me a favor, Little Chickie, and just go around the room and tell me your feelings about the different members here, what you think and feel about them. Let's start with Feelings. What did you think about Feelings? He was the moderator for your debate, by the way.
I actually know that. I'm sorry. I probably represented myself terribly that first time. I was very uninformed. I'm not even being a smartass.
Your reaction to them, not how you represented yourself.
No, she's talking to Feelings, right? You're talking to Feelings candidly. You're telling him you're apologizing him and taking it. Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Sorry, my bad.
Fucking Chaiwalla! Stop interrupting her. Apologize for Chaiwalla interrupting your intimate thought. I was listening. I was raptly listening on the edge of my seat, and all of a sudden I heard this annoying Indian voice. Excuse me. Are you being a coward? I thought. Sorry.
Everyone had great points this evening. I think that the more that is learned, and the more that is read, and the more that is sought after, via Manhood 101, actually is very intelligent.
That sentence was confusing. What did you think about Chaiwalla and his responses during this interview? What did you think about him?
Was I listening to him?
What did you think about him? Did you hear from him?
Listening to him, darling.
Okay, you just ignored him completely. What did you think of? What did you think about Stingray? He's the Aryan-looking white guy, warlord, the Viking warlord.
Here's the one I've been looking at.
Oh, handsome jawline, she said.
Not bad.
Oh, her verdict is not bad.
White people are so racist. They always pick only white people.
There's nothing racist about it.
Oh shit!
What did you think about Dick Van Dyke?
He and Mary Tyler Moore had a great show.
No, the Dick in the chat right now. This guy Dick. Your arch nemesis in the interview.
Why does he have to be my arch nemesis? Does he really not want to attract girls? Because you have to actually have a little bit of subtlety.
Subtlety.
And a little bit
What the fuck is she talking
kindness.
about?
You've got to give a
That's
little
not like Cosmo.
So in other words, she's saying you got to be more accountable to your thoughts. You need to give her a more positive incentive. You got to give her a reason to meet your expectation. You got to give her a reason to get into the relationship.
Yes, you gave her a lot of reasons, and
Right.
just talking about your own experiences and relating it to what she's talking about. Me, I just want to spank her and turn off her
Yeah, you just came in there trying to ride off my coattails, and you just thought, oh, I'm just gonna, whoa,
Oh, okay.
putting your ass on there.
The audience can't see what's going on.
I'm gonna have a final request for this interview. I'm gonna need you to turn around and spank that ass 3 times to let us know that you've approved of this interview.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely agree.
We have a lot of agreement in here. We're gonna get turn around, we get the ass raised.
Just like a little higher.
We're getting a little higher. Okay, yeah, there, okay. So
Yeah,
turning around, getting a little higher, and we're getting a little, okay. That's enough. We're gonna have to,
Yes.
we're gonna have to conclude this interview.
Can you do one-on-one interviews?
Something has come up. We're gonna have to conclude this interview immediately. Final thought. Oh, I didn't get the final thought on me. Little Chicky, what are your final thoughts regarding your professor at this academy?
I love you.
I am almost speechless. I'm actually feeling gratitude and a tenderness welling up in my heart when you said that. I'm actually appreciative of your sentiment. It's beyond words. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope I see more of you at the academy.
Thank you for allowing me.
I have one final thing to say.
Can you not cut her off, you motherfucker? Shut the fuck up, Dick! I'm sorry,
Yes.
I'm sorry, little Chicky. Could you please continue that thought?
Oh, sorry.
Fuck me, you're such a cockblocker, Dick.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. And I hope I can grace y'all's presence again.
We hope so too. Dick, what did you want to fucking interrupt with?
I just wanted to ask, were you paid to come here, or did you come on your own free will? Just so the audience knows.
Actually, I was here in January of last year. I decided to come back because I wanted to say hi.
Okay, so you were not paid.
No.
She's not accountable to her thoughts. Obviously, she came back for other reasons other than to say hi, but she won't reveal that at
No,
this
I know
time.
that. I just wanted to be explicit that we didn't pay her to do this interview.
Oh, you
just
didn't
for
pay-
our audience members.
You're saying we didn't hire a hooker.
Yeah, we didn't hire a hooker to say these things.
It's not a high-priced escort.
Yeah.
I do have to say one thing. Our guest today was not accountable to her feelings because she came here under the influence of menage a trois.
Menage a trois.
So when you can have, when you don't have to have the liquid courage, then we can say that ass smacking was genuine.
Then I can truly appreciate
Right.
your feelings for me when you express your feelings for me. Then I can say, these are genuine and I can depend on them.
Yes, sir.
We could try another round in a few hours.
Thank you, little Chicky. We're going to excuse you. Go ahead and click that close button on the bottom right-hand corner, and I hope to see you again
I
soon.
want to see some more.
Send me a PM anytime.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, mon ami.
No strip show.
Ignore the Indian.
That's it.
No video record. Only for Professor.
Wow, how was that? Whew.
Oh, wait, we all got the show time all.
Yes, this is my second strip show at the Academy.
Any final thoughts before I stop the interview?
I just want to say thank you, Dick Van Dyke, for prompting her to smack the ass. I know that it wasn't intentional, but Professor, thank you for getting her panties wet. I enjoyed this hangout because of you. Dick Van Dyke, great job.
You
Stingray,
guys had a good cop, bad cop vibe. I liked it.
There's definitely, I definitely like a good cop,
Yes.
a bad cop.
Yeah.
I definitely
I'm
appreciate.
willing to do things for you because to stay away
You
from
made Professor look good.
Yeah,
That's
as-
why.
look good.
As
Yeah.
much as Dick Van Dyke cockblocked, I really appreciate his role as bad cop in this interview. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I took one for the team.
You did take one for the team. Congratulations. All right, let's end.